Hi. Um, been obviously involved with the Sunday shows now for a while, and I've kind of neglected my personal material here on YouTube and elsewhere. Um, no real reason. It's just I was focused on other things. So I thought what I'd have a go at is actually doing some nice little video, proper video things. Um, so I'm going to start with a little update on the current project that's on my bench. Personal project. There's a couple of other bits. You can see the debris field back here. Lots of bits all ready to paint. That's a couple of things that we're doing for the hobby company, which we'll be covering on the Sunday show, no doubt, and also I'll cover on my Facebook feed. But in the meantime, this is my build of the Tamiya Fiat Abarth 695 SS. It's a classic old kit. Which was reissued, according to the box, in 2024. It doesn't feel that long ago. I picked mine up when it came out from the hobby shop. It used to be in Barnsley. It's now moved out to Tankersley at Sheffield at a model workshop. It's convenient for me. They're local to me, and they're very, very good as well at what they do. I decided to build it, and I was going to build it effectively from the box. And then I spotted that Ukrainian Scale Car Productions were doing some upgrade bits for it. There's a set of nice wheels, and there was a lot of Abarth cars had cooling issues because they're rear engined, air cooled. If you upgrade the engine, you need more airflow. So a lot of them you see with this sort of fitted up engine cover deck, and they did the parts to enable you to replicate that as a 3D print, and I'll show you those in a minute as we go along. They're incredibly fine, to the point at which when I took one look at them, I actually ordered 2 sets because I was absolutely convinced that I was going to break one. So far, that's probably the most wooden thing around here. Touch wood. No, I haven't. But you'll see what I mean. They also do a set interior set for the Fiat 500F, which came out at the same time, which is ostensibly the same plastic base with extra just spruce shuffled around, different wheels, etc. Now, whilst that's not 100% accurate for a 695, a lot of the bits on it are usable because the 695 had some of the bits moved about, and the door cards are the same. So the door card furniture that's in there is reusable. So I thought, well, why not? We'll get one of them. I ended up getting 3. Because again, I was convinced I was going to break one, and I wanted one for the 500F that I've got in stack as well. So I ended up with 3, and I've ended up just as well I did because I pinged a couple of parts. So I actually have the second one on the go. They're beautiful, as USCP stuff always is. Absolutely beautiful. The finesse on them is scary. There's a key slot with a key in it, a key ring, and a key hanging on it that is designed to go into a hole in the dashboard to replicate the ignition key. It's scary, terrifying. But there you go. So look, without any further ado, I'll go through where I am with this, do a little summary of what I've got done, how I've done it, what I've achieved, and you can look at it and you'll either go, Ian, you're an idiot, or wow, I like that idea, and you may adopt it for one of your future builds. I'm always open to questions, always open to feedback. If you look at it and go, oh, how did you do that? I'll cover it in more detail for you very happily. I'm not one of these, oh, my techniques. No, I want to share everything I do. And some of it you might go, actually, no, you could do that better this way, Ian, and I will listen because I'm always looking for stuff like that, and I will share. Materials wise, as has been touched on the Sunday night show, I'm a bit of a tool tart. There may be bits and pieces of kit that you see waft across the screen here, and you go, where on earth did you get that? The answer is usually AliExpress, But some of these saws I've had a long time, and some of these processes I've used for a couple of decades now in some instances. And you just use them habitually, don't you? And you don't think about it. So if I have an opportunity to say to someone, right, actually, this is what you need and this is how you do it, and I'm going to do it, so just ask the questions. So with no further ado, let's go and have a little look, shall we? So this is the box of the Tamiya Abarth 695. It says they didn't really change the box actually when they reissued it. They've done very little to it. However, what they have done is started to introduce LP call outs for colors, and that's noticeable throughout the box. Interestingly, the kit was originally released in 1996, which is 1996-2024 Tamiya, made in Philippines. It's obviously where they do a lot of their post-release production. Again, lacquer call-outs, box side, which is interesting and new over the last 18 months, 2 years or so. We'll put that out of the way. We'll bring over instructions. Instructions are typically Tamiya, and again, the lacquer call-outs are in here. There are decals which allow you to build. They are my teeth, honest. A couple of different paint variations and livery variations. The traditional Fiat Abarth side stripes down the side, very traditionally Abarth. I used to sell the modern iteration of Abarth back in the day. It's actually, and I realized this the other day, it's about 10 years ago, which is pretty scary, really, if I'm honest, because I didn't realize it was that long ago. So anyway, this is what remains of the decal at the minute, because obviously I've done some bits with it. I've put the dials in and various bits and pieces. So these are the stripes. Interestingly, they're red with a white backing. Preference for me would have been red with a transparent backing, so they pick up the body color. The reason being, I'm trying to replicate, or this is the basis for my car, and this, as you can clearly see, has not got a white element to the stripe, possibly. But anyway, there we go. So that's the car I'm trying to do a reasonable approximation of. My printer's on the book for it, so that is actually blue. It's actually very near to this color. This is the body in after its first coat, and I'll stress that it's had one coat of paint so far. This is Mr. Color. Hang on, let me get the number. C74, which is Air Superiority Blue. It's a gloss finish. It settles really quick. I've noticed that one. It's had a splash of Mr. Leveling thinners put in there. It needs another coat. No, it needs another coat. It's just not, there's not enough color density on there. It's not hiding the primer everywhere. It also needs flattening back because there's a hair just there. That's really annoying. So I'll give it a flat back in a little while with some Trizact. Probably use a 6000 on that because I don't need anything coarser than that at this point. See how it looks, and then we'll give it a second coat later on. To be fair, I'll put a second coat on the tailgate at the same time, obviously. This is the kit tailgate. I've done some modifications to this. I've removed the hinging points. I've drilled back out a couple of little holes that are here for other things, because that's going to take the USCP part, which will look like that. So you've got a bracket at the top, which locates those two pinholes, and then a bracket here with a retainer on it that holds the rest of it, so it'll sit roughly horizontally. Let me tell you, and there's a bit of rattling off camera, I'm sorry, because I'm going through a box of parts at the minute. Let me find my tweezers, a pair of tweezers, because I'm not picking these up with my bare fingers because they are ridiculously fine. That's the part we're talking about. Yeah, anyway, you can see why I got two sets, because the chances of me breaking that are probably 10 to 1 or less. So anyway, that's where we are with that. I'll come back to the box a bit in a mo. So that's that part sits. I seem to have developed a stammer today. It's yeah, won't mind. I've not had anything to drink, anything like that. So obviously with the modifications that I've made, there's a couple of gaps opened up, but that won't be an issue when it's mounted. So that fits into there all thus. Okay. So the bodywork was initially prepped using some 6000 grit to give it a key, and then the arch covers were mounted. I did find that the fit of these arch extensions wasn't perfect. That's evident inside. There's a bit of filling and stuff going on in there, and there's actually a tiny little mark gap there, which I've not managed to eradicate, which is really annoying. But there you go. But the rest of it, there's 3 or 4 rounds of filling and sanding to get them to where they are. They don't look that bad, actually. All the panel lines were scribed back using a Madworks chisel, which with my fun, I can't remember what it's called, Toy Fun. Let me get it right. Fun Tech handle, which I like this handle. There's lots of these types of handles around. I like this one. This one seems to have a rubberized piece in there, chuck collet in it. This is the chisel in question. This is a 0.2 mil. So that's held. Hang on. That's held. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Nearly into camera the first time. There we go. That's held like that, and then drawn along the line to scribe it. Okay. Oops. Disappeared inside the handle. That's a good start to the job, isn't it? Find that out in a bit. Anyway, so that's how I did all the panel line. So that's scribed under here and under here. Also, you can use that chisel for sharpening up edges. So drop away camera in. So along this edge here, where there's a line, there's a panel. I would use it to square that up. I used it also to sharpen the edges of the rain gutters and the like. So the bodywork is, yeah, it's not looking too bad actually, and the color really, it does suit the car. As I say, a second coat is now required, so that's a job for later on today. There we go. So I put that to one side. So and we've done the body, we've done the tailgate. Internal parts, a lot of them are body colored. So that's the dash. The USCP parts are intended for the 500F, but there's less switching on the 695. So the lower one is the ignition. Let's get this right. The lower one is the ignition. There's a couple of switches, and there's a locator for the instrument bezel, which I've previously, oops, don't want to lose that. Nearly. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's the instrument bezel, which locates here. There we go. So what we've done is we've painted that gloss black to start with, edged the bezels with silver. It was a bit brighter than it looks at the minute. It's actually brighter in real life than it is in that image. I don't know what's going on there. And then put the decals in, having punched them out with a punch and die set. I used an RB one for that. When they're dried, and then put some the UV cure clear resin over the top and set that off, so they look like proper dials. I'm quite pleased with that actually. That looks really nice in that picture. So that's the dashboard done. This needs to be the same finish as the bodywork, although being in the interior possibly might just need a second. I'll give it a second coat anyway and try and get a bit more gloss in it. I won't clear it and polish it like I would the rest of it. I actually do want some contrast. So there you go. Steering column. Now the instructions tell you to paint all of this black, but I've got a lot of photographic references that suggest this forward section is actually body color. Oops, that's forward section there is actually body color. Sorry, that's off camera there. I think that was dreadful. So that's that. And most of the other body parts of the panel. Now the side, the door cards, I've removed the body, the various molded in bits. Now there's lots of pictures of these with padded panels in here. So being the idiot that I am, I made some. So that's those. There we go. And they fit quite nicely. And there's a little strip in there. On the real car, that is chromed, as is the little one that runs around the bottom. I will probably mask and paint them later again today, get that sorted. Alternatively, the option is these ones you can't see. I mean, genuinely, you can't see them from outside the car. This, I could just replace it with a piece of zinc nickel. Yeah, anyway, shiny metal rod. We'll leave that at that. So those are to come. This is the instructions for the 500. For the 500F interior. We managed to lose a bit. That's not a good sign. Good start. So somewhere. I'll find that in a minute. That's there. These are the instructions for the 500F interior set. As you can see, there are a couple of pages to this. So this is the Abarth. This is the 500 version of that dash. And as you can see, ignition key, a couple of sets of switches. The Abarth gets a different insert to the 500. The 500 gets the circular single dial set. There is a pedal box, very nice, actually, 3D printed set of pedals, and there's an accelerator pedal because the kit one is molded into the floor and it's really not very good. So there you go. So I've done those bits. These are the door card parts. These are all prepped. This is the, you know, when I said, oh, I don't want to lose that, that tiny little bit there is the latch for the quarter light that goes on the back of this glazed panel. So these are the window inserts for the side. They've been gloss blacked from the outside, and then they've had chrome applied to them. But then that little bit glues just a really tiny little chrome piece, and then so that you can open the quarter light window. It's a nice idea. That's the chrome, the windows of the body. So it's coming up. That's nice. That these are beautifully molded clear parts. Less to be said for the engine, which is a bit gappy and not particularly well done. I am currently contemplating what I'm going to do with that. I have to say, it's not to my satisfaction at the minute, but we'll see. The kit chrome's actually quite nice. I'm going to try and recycle as much of that rather than stripping it and redoing it. That's the centerpiece. That's where I've glued the hole for the accelerator pedal to go. Wheels. These are the USCP wheels. In the kit tires, the kit tires have been chucked up in one of Zoom-On's tire sanding pieces. These are very useful. A range of sizes, so you put your tire over it, you put it in your drill, you spin it up and you sand it. It gets rid of center line joins really nicely, and also allows you to reduce the tread depth to something more approaching scale. So they're a nice thing. He's only done them recently. He's just released a new one for Formula 1 20th scale tires on his website today. So that might be worth addressing if you're into it. The also USCP produced this, which is a twin Weber upgrade set for the engine, which looks like that when it's done. They are tiny, these things. Separate intake trumpets, carburetor block, and a manifold. Multiple metal shades going on in there to try and give a bit of depth to it, and to match a reference picture that I found online, which incidentally had the same installation. which is this. There you go. Look at that. It's amazing, the things you find online. The USCP set also surprised the that bit. Yeah. There's a lot of piping in this that's not in the kit, not represented in any way. The exhaust system is ridiculously basic. But like I say, it's not a new kit. It's been around a very long time. And so you kind of have to put up with it, don't you? One thing I will show you is, and I don't know if the camera's going to focus on this. Here we go. That is the ignition key. Yeah. So at this point in time, I have this. This box contains most of a complete 695 Abarth. And then I have a pile of bits in blue paint that need painting. The interior needs some masking and some black areas spraying into it. Once that's done, I'll probably get most of the chassis assembled, and then it'll just drop into the body when the body's done. It's a lovely little kit. Yeah, it's a bit old. It's been around a while. It's been around for, well, we've worked it out, do we say 1996 on that box, or 1999? 1996. So this year it's 30-year-old. You know, think of what Airfix were producing 30 years ago, and it doesn't compare to this, even now. So, you know, we can make our choices around what we choose to build and what we don't choose to build. I rather like this kit. You probably worked it out. So there you go. A little summary of where I am with the 695. Some of it's a bit wandering off into the distance. I'm really sorry about that. I am still working on how I do these things. I don't script because it doesn't suit me. And I'm just sitting at my bench talking rubbish at you. Yeah, and if you happen to like that, then I'd be pleased to hear from you. If you don't like it, go watch someone else. You know, it's as simple as. I'll be doing some more bits. I want to get a bit more on here, so that and do some tools and technique stuff. Now, I don't profess. I'll come back to what I was saying previously. I don't profess to be the best modeler in the world. I'm pretty sure I'm not. I've seen some stuff historically that makes me wince and think, why am I even bothering? Should I take up knitting? But I like to think I can talk about it well, and that is kind of what I'm good at. I will tell people stuff about the hobby in a way that hopefully they enjoy and that works and that they understand what I'm talking about. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, send me them. Comment. Do something. If you think I'm an idiot, keep it to yourself. Thanks very much.